Okay, this is English 373, Week 1, Part 1. Welcome to class. Welcome to Shakespeare class, and I'm your professor, Jeff Clock. Um, okay, cool. So this is going to be an online asynchronous thing. Thank you for watching this video. There are going to be quite a few of them. Okay, let's see what do I want to get started with. My name is Jeff Clock. My name is spelled horribly. If you're hearing me say Jeff Clock, but you've never seen it written down, you're going to have a really hard time guessing how it might be spelled. It doesn't seem important, except if you want to email me, which is going to be a major source of communication this semester because we're not in person, you're going to need to know how my name is spelled. So it's Jeff is spelled Geoff, and Clock is spelled Klock. So neither of those words starts the way that you think it would. Okay, cool. So let's see what do I want to do here. So this is how class is going to work. The first thing you need to do is just basically I try to keep things real simple, like very very absurdly simple. Too simple, some people say. In terms of mechanics, I like complicated plays, but I like very simple class structures and assignments. Some people say I don't give enough assignments. I don't know. I feel like I give the minimum. The English department's like you have to give this many, and that's how many I get. So here's how it's going to work. You need to go on Blackboard and just find out what all the buttons do. I try to keep Blackboard real simple. Um, I'm not really good at online teaching. It's something I'm doing because of COVID, and it's something that I plan to never do again as soon as this is over. But go on Blackboard and take a look around. There's basically 5 buttons on there that you're going to need on the left. So I have the announcements button, which I'm just going to hit every time I want to tell you something. Probably once a week or twice a week, I'll get on there and I'll make a little probably once a week, I'll get on there and make a little announcement saying, "Hey guys, the lecture is up. Go watch it." Um, but I'll make like big class announcements on there. Like that's where I'm going to be like, "Guys, your paper's due in 3 weeks. Guys, your paper's due in 2 weeks. Guys, your paper's due in 1 week." That kind of thing. I like counting shit down. Um, so there's the announcements button. That's gonna be like a blog. That will also probably show up in your email. I'm gonna click the button and send it out an email every time I do that. But you should go on. You need to go on Blackboard at least once a week. Then there's gonna be what else is going on there? Oh, then there's the course content. Course content's real simple. The course content is basically there's Shakespeare plays that you can download, and then there are these video lectures that you can watch, and that's it. I like to keep things pretty simple, so those are the 2 things you're going to be doing is reading Shakespeare plays and watching me talk about them on here. And those video lectures will go up once a week. Once you've seen the video lectures, you're going to head on over to the discussion board. And doing the discussion board is part of your grade, unfortunately. So you have to go over and basically, every time you watch a lecture, you got to go over and talk about something. You got to, I don't know, make points or ask interesting questions or respond to other students or say things about the play or I don't know, all kinds of stuff you can do. You've been in school before. You know what discussions are. Um, yeah. So there's that. What I do: announcements, course content, discussion board, assignments. I like to keep assignments pretty minimal. There are only 3 assignments in this class. There's paper 1, and there's paper 2, and they're both basically the same paper. You pick a play and connect it to current events, and then for the second paper, you pick a different play and connect it to different current events, and that's it. I shouldn't say current events. You connect it to current events or recent stories, kind of modern. Like, you pick a TV show you like and you make a connection between the TV show you like and Shakespeare. Or you pick a comic book you like or a video game or whatever, and you make a connection. And then there's 2 assignments in the discussion board, and that's it for that. Pretty easy. 2 papers and discussion board are all the assignments that you have. Let's see, what else? Oh, and then there's faculty information, and you can click a button and find out about me. The syllabus is one of those things that should be important, but I kind of buried it a little bit. The syllabus is under course information on the left of Blackboard on the bottom, at the bottom of the left-hand toolbar. I dumped it down there because I felt like most of the information you need in the syllabus is available under assignments, course content, and what's the other thing? And I guess that's it. Assignments and course content. That's where most of the syllabus information that you're going to want ends up. Oh, and faculty information. So that's all kind of there. But there's a syllabus on there if you want it. But I did intentionally make the syllabus like not the most obvious thing because I think it's slightly less important than some of the other things that I have for you. Or it's just a copy. If you click on the syllabus, you're going to see a lot of information that you've already seen elsewhere on the website. Okay, so that's it. Let's see. Welcome to Shakespeare class. Here's the plan. I'm probably only going to do 3 Shakespeare plays and a poem is my plan. That may change, but I don't know. I'm making these videos. We'll see what happens. But it's going to be 3 plays and a video. Let's try that again. 3 plays and a poem, all of which I'm going to talk about on video. It's going to be Macbeth, which is Shakespeare's shortest and one of his very best plays. It's a tragedy. I like tragedies. I picked a lot of dark plays. I picked a lot of real downers because I like, I don't know, I like destruction. I like people being funny, but I like fictional characters to have their lives ruined. So we'll talk more about why I enjoy that and what's interesting about tragedy as a genre. So we're going to do Macbeth, Coriolanus, which is a play nobody fucking knows and nobody cares about, and it's secretly awesome, and I really like it, and I think it's going to be fun. Then we're going to do Romeo and Juliet, which is every high school teacher's favorite play, and it is actually great. I feel like maybe high school teachers are not that good at teaching it, but Romeo and Juliet is fucking rad. And then we're going to end with this poem that no one's ever heard of, that no one cares about, called The Phoenix and the Turtle. And we may do other things in there depending on how the semester goes, but that's the basic plan of it. Yeah, okay, cool. Shakespeare class. Let me introduce some Shakespeare stuff to you. I want to say some kind of general remarks about reading Shakespeare. For starters, Shakespeare's very famous. People know who Shakespeare is. For some people that's exciting because they're like, oh, I'm finally reading the big important things that everybody talks about all the time, or that the really famous stuff I've heard about. I'm a person like that. I will, if enough people mention a book or it seems important or famous enough, I will check it out just to see what it is in there. If a movie is popular and it's based on a book, I will read the book. I don't know. I want to know what's going on. TV show's based on a book. I'm going to read the book. So Shakespeare is like the most famous author ever, and so it can I think it's exciting to read someone who's so famous, because then you get to see what's actually in there, and then it helps you to understand. Every time somebody mentions Shakespeare, you're like, oh, I know Shakespeare, I get that. It is, lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Shakespeare's very famous. Oh yeah. For some people, though, because it's Shakespeare, the most important writer in the history of the world, some people feel very intimidated by Shakespeare. They're like, Shakespeare's not going to make any sense. Shakespeare's boring. Shakespeare's difficult. Shakespeare's not going to make any sense. And it's funny because I've taught classes in the past where I did some Shakespeare, but I also tossed in other writers from the same time and place, like John Donne, for example. And my students had never heard of John Donne, even though he wrote in the same time and place as Shakespeare did, and he's a major poet. And some of my students had an easier time with John Donne because they'd never heard of him and they weren't intimidated. But then they were like, oh, I can't read Shakespeare. And I'm like, if you can read John Donne, you can read Shakespeare. It's the same thing. But they had never heard of John Donne, so they were like, whatever, I'll figure this out. And when they saw Shakespeare, they were like, oh, shit. Anyway, Shakespeare should not be intimidating. Shakespeare is actually quite fun. Shakespeare can be difficult to read if you are doing it wrong. Most people read Shakespeare, I think, wrong. And so I'll be going over sort of how to do it. The wrong way to read Shakespeare is to, and I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but like, for example, I have given you a copy of the play. It's on the blackboard, and you can download a copy of Macbeth right now. The wrong way to read Shakespeare, in my opinion, is to just take Macbeth and just start reading from scene 1, act 1 to the end. That's probably not going to work for multiple reasons. Maybe, it depends on what your skill level is. But I think it's going to be very difficult to read the play. There's no books in this class. You don't have to buy any books for class. I'm giving you everything for free. One of the nice things about Shakespeare is that it's all free. You can download it off the internet for free. Nobody owns Shakespeare. He's one of those, like if you make a Superman movie or an X-Men movie, you're getting sued. But a lot of things are in what's called public domain. So if you want to make a Dracula movie or a Frankenstein movie or a Sherlock Holmes movie or an Alice in Wonderland movie or a Great Gatsby movie, interestingly, you can't get sued. Nobody owns it. So nobody owns Shakespeare. And that makes it very easy to I can give you the books for free. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. This is a playlist, by the way, so hopefully when this video is over, the next one should play, but I put 9 or 10 of them in a row and 10-minute little bits, and we go through. That's why you get that announcement at the beginning of every video that it's 373, week 1, part 1. So you'll hear me say the next thing in a minute. I'll see you in the next video.